how's it going? Today I'm going to be planting some onions, and it's a pretty straightforward process. I'm going to be planting onions that have already been started, so they're in their own little cell packs. You can also buy onions as sets or even as seeds, but this year I'm a little behind on planting my onions. I would have preferred to get them in the ground a lot earlier than today, but this was just when I was able to get them and when I had the space prepared, so I opted for plants that were already started just to kind of give them a little bit more time. And so I don't have to start them from seed or from set. So the three kinds of onions I'm going to be planting today are candy onions, red onions, and Walla Walla onions. Now we predominantly like the sweeter onions, so that's what I am planting today. These onions, the Walla Walla and the candy, get really good size. They are pretty good size onions. They are also very heavy feeders, so you want to make sure if you're planting onions of any kind, but especially these big kind, that they have lots of fertile nutrients to draw from your soil. So fertilizers, compost, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be planting these today in some good compost soil that I have in my raised beds and another area in my garden. And then also in a couple of months I'll be coming along with either some more compost or some fertilizer like a plant tone or a garden tone or something like that, just to give them the boost and keep them going and growing really nice and big for us. So I'm just going to get the camera set up today and just kind of show you the process of what I'm doing. I have lots of onions to plant and a bunch of other stuff going on today, so I'm just going to set the camera up and plow through these and show you how it looks in the end. Okay, so there are the Walla Walla onions all planted up. I will make sure that I give these a good drink when I'm done planting all the onions here. And I have to tell you, even planting these big onions that have 6 to 8 inches of space between them, you can still fit a lot of onions in a little space, and that always surprises me how many onions I can get in a space. Because I just filled that little space with 24 onions, so that's pretty good. So here are the candy and the red onions all planted up. I have the red onions in the first 3 rows and the candy onions in the last 3.5 rows. And apparently I forgot to hit the record button as I was planting this bed of onions, which is so frustrating. But it happens, and that's just part of the process, I guess, and learning and everything. But I did get these all planted up, and I did want to address, if you are planting a smaller type of onion, like just a regular yellow or white onion, as a lot of them will be labeled when you get onion sets, a lot of times they're just called red or white or yellow. And if you are getting those types of onions, typically they don't need to be spaced out as far as these bigger kinds of onions like these Walla Walla and these candy onions. And so you can get away with planting them a little bit closer. But because I'm planting some bigger onions today, I wanted to make sure that they had some good room to grow. And I think earlier I actually made a mistake. I said 6 to 8 inches between each onion. It's actually 6 to 18 inches between each onion, which is huge spacing for an onion if you think about it. And I did not plant mine anywhere near 18 inches apart. Mine are probably about 6 inches apart, and that's going to be adequate for us. We don't need monstrous onions. I like them for their good size, but I don't need absolutely huge onions for what we're doing here at our house. I did want to give one tip too. A lot of times people sometimes shy away from the sweeter onions because they don't store as well, because they are so big and maybe you can't use it all in one sitting for a meal. But there is something that my mom does that I think is absolutely great, and it's perfect for storing these kinds of onions. She likes to get them and harvest them and chop them up and throw them into a gallon freezer bag and just freeze them. And if you lay them flat in the freezer and you just let them freeze like that, then you can get them out and you can use them as you need them. You don't have to blanch them. You don't have to do anything. So you just chop them up, throw them in a freezer, gallon bag, and into the freezer they go. And they're already ready for you anytime you need them. And so I think that's probably what I'm going to be doing with my onions this year. It gives you just an absolutely, just a ton of ready to go onions at any point. And I love that she did that for us last year and gave us several bags. So I think I'm going to do the same. We really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm sorry that I missed planting up this entire raised bed, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this portion come together and seeing this garden just come to life and being filled with things. It does my heart good. I hope it does your heart good seeing things come together. I know I personally love watching people's projects and how they do throughout the year. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you in the next video.